Okay, so this is going to be one of these one-off videos, and I hope that this is going to help you, and I think it will. So this lesson here, this phrase is: "Do not be ashamed of something you're working on." Do not be ashamed of something you're working on. Um, that is a hell of a concept to get behind, and that it takes a long time to get to that point. But in the name of owning yourself, in the name of integrating yourself, in the name of accepting yourself, you can't say, "Oh, I've got this condition and this condition's no good, or this side of me is no good, or I need to push this side away, or I need to believe that it'll relieve itself, or I need to bury it," or whatever the case may be. No. You've got a situation you're dealing with. But if you're managing it, if you're working on it, you should absolutely not be ashamed. Because here's the thing about it, right? So if you got a person and they're saying they're really messed up on booze, right? And he says, "You know what, man, I got a problem with it. I'm going to meetings. I'm using the following strategies, and I'm seeing marked improvement." Beautiful. Hey, man, it sounds like you're heading in the right direction. I'm happy for you. How's the rest of your day been? So you see, like, I didn't turn that into like a finger pointing fest. I didn't turn that into a shame fest, and neither should you. You shouldn't point the finger at yourself. You shouldn't shame yourself. You shouldn't judge yourself. If you are truly working on the situation, what more can we ask for? Because if you're working on it, number one, you're probably getting better. You're probably doing said activity less. And if you keep following this path, if you keep following these strategies 4 years from now, you might not be doing it at all. And that 4 years from now started today. 4 years from now, you're finally kicking it. You don't drink the bottle no more. You don't touch it no more. It's over with. But you had to do that today to get to 4 years from now, right? So, like, today was a step in that 4 year recovery window. So, if you're going to give yourself some shit because you're still in the midst of recovery, it's like, what? I, I mean, and guys, I don't know your context, right? Okay, I don't know your context. I don't know your cultural heritage. I don't know your political heritage. I don't know your spiritual heritage. I don't know any of that. So if what I'm saying is probably easier said than done, then okay, I'll accept that. But at the same time, you have to give yourself some goddamn slack. Okay? You got to give yourself some credit here. If you are doing what you can, what more can we ask for? And I mean that. If you are doing what you can, what more can we ask for? Because if you say, "I got a problem with booze," and you say, "I'm down to 2 beers a night," and that's a hell of a lot better than a case a day. Absolutely, that's a hell of a lot better than a case a day. Here, here. Keep it going, man. You're doing great. Don't be ashamed of those 2 beers. You're doing so much better than you were before. And maybe you're at that case stage still. Maybe you're still doing a case a night and saying, "Man, I'm trying to get down to a half a case a night." Man, just keep pushing. You'll get there. But don't be ashamed just because you're still in recovery, bro. We're always going to be in recovery. Okay, there's never part of being a human being means you're going to be damaged. Part of being a human being means you're going to have trauma. Part of being a human being means there's shit that's going to piss you off. And guess what? We've all got it. We all got to deal with it. It doesn't make you any less of a person. Now, what can make your life a little more crummy and what may make people have less patience is if you don't do shit about it. If you're topping off a case a night and you ain't doing shit to get better, well, hey, man, I don't know. That don't sound good to me. Now maybe that's another conversation. But if you're trying your best, come on, man, you got to give yourself some slack. You got to give yourself some slack. If you are doing your best, you got to give yourself some slack. If you are on the road to recovery, you got to give yourself some slack. We all got trauma. We all got damage, okay? Don't let the TV, don't let the film, don't let the social media, don't let any of that fool you. We're all human beings with problems. Some of us got back pain. Some of us got ankle pain. Some of us got neck pain. Some of us got kidney issues. Some of us got heart issues. It's just, we all got something, man. There's no such thing as There's no such thing as going through this planet. There's no such thing as going through this existence without getting some damage. And the way I look at it is that if you've got some scars, then that means that you survived the battle, and your wound's healed. So, but that's another topic for another video. But I just, like I said, guys, don't be ashamed if you're working on something. Don't be ashamed if you're on the road to recovery. Don't be ashamed if you are managing your problems to the best of your abilities. If you got a problem with booze and you're taking the steps and you're following the steps and the steps are working, keep going. There's nothing to be ashamed about. And likewise, guys, don't let that define you. Please do not let your condition define you. My God, if you walk in the room and you say, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and you got nothing else to say about yourself, man, you got to find something else to talk about. You got to say, hey, I'm a recover, that might be a portion of me, right? But, I like doing this, or I'm really good at this, or I do this for my free time, right? Don't let recovery define you. Don't let your condition define you. You existed before your condition. You existed before your recovery. You'll exist after your condition. You'll exist after recovery. Okay. So that probably needs to be pulled apart into its own video. But like I said, don't be ashamed of something you're working on. Whatever it is, don't be ashamed of it. If you're honestly working on it, I'm not going to say, yeah, he needs to get it together. No, he does have it together. He's working on it as we speak. Now, if he asks for my perspective, maybe I'll give it to him. And maybe if the time comes, maybe he will reach a full recovery. It is possible. But don't be ashamed of it just because you're in recovery. Don't be ashamed of it because you're healing. I mean, if LeBron James twists his ankle, he ain't ashamed of that. He's like, man, I don't like it happen, but guess what? I got to deal with it because I got to get back on the court. So you got to get back on the court after a while. So, don't view your challenges. Don't view them as something to be ashamed of. To me, if you know it's a problem and you're doing everything you can, then to me that's a victory because you're taking care of yourself. So don't be ashamed of what you're working on. Don't be ashamed of what you're in the midst of. Don't be ashamed if you fell down. It's okay. Just keep getting back up. All right, guys, I'll see you for the next one. Take care.